Well, hello there, and thank you so much for coming back. This is Progressive Plan Inc. Quick tip number 2. But before we get started on that, let's do a quick review. I've decided that quick tip number 1 is so important to me that I'm going to keep it permanently as a part of my decor here. So the plant turnaround process is a continuous, never-ending process. That's what we learned in quick tip number 1, and we're going to keep that in our face because that's how important I think that idea is. Now, moving along, I want to cover a quick definition off. What is the definition of routine? Okay, and so we're talking about a regular course of procedure or resort or, the habitual mechanical performance of an established procedure, that sort of thing. Just want to put that in your mind, and here's why. We are going to take a look at Progressive Plan Inc. Quick tip number 2. Quick tip number 2, I'm calling it's all routine, baby. And that's exactly what I want to get to here. The actual work of the turnaround is 90% routine work. And I mean that literally by the definition of routine. Now, before you start reacting to this comment, because I know that's not how a lot of people are going to be viewing it, think about it. Is there any of the real work? And let's first just talk about what we're talking about when we're talking about the turnaround work. Okay, we are not talking about any CapEx work that came in as a bolt-on because we happen to have the facility down for our turnaround. We are not talking about any major maintenance work that came in to our turnaround because they needed it done and we happen to have the facility down. We are talking about the actual work that drives a turnaround, the inspection cycles, the routine maintenance cycles of all kinds. Just because something only happens every 3 years or every 4 years or every 6 years or even every 10 years does not mean that it's not routine. The definition of routine does not require that something happen every day or every week. It only requires that it's a repeated action. So, here's why this is revolutionary. If you take quick tip number 1, continuous process, and you add that to quick tip number 2, it's all routine, and then you think about what we talked about in quick tip number 1 and at the beginning of quick tip number 2, that, if it's a continuous process and it's all routine, then you could literally start planning your turnaround 90 days after the plant comes online, just as we keep reiterating at Progressive Plan. So this is my thought for today. I'm going to keep it down to just that quick tip. You now got 2 thoughts. These, as you notice, these first 2 quick tips are not specific things that I'm asking for people to do. They're a way of thinking about things. Think about this. Please, please, please. It will change your life. It will change the success of your turnaround. I absolutely promise you that. The turnaround process is a continuous process, and it is involved with the planning, scheduling, and executing of routine work. Have a nice day.